Hey guys, it's Tammy here, and I have a question for you. But I'm going to ask it to you. I want to show you a picture here first and then ask you. How do you know that you're funny or not funny? This is a serious question. Now I know some of you may be wondering, hello, we're on a Conquer Conflict page and you're asking me about if I'm funny or not? Well, it ties into our own sense of self-concept. And how do we learn these messages? You know, I think back to when I was younger, even today, I don't think I'm very funny. I can be funny. I can say things that are funny, but I can't tell a joke. I don't know how to do a punchline. And so I would not go do stand-up comedy. Whereas some of my friends who have a really good sense of timing and can build a story, I would say that they're funny. But why does that matter when we're talking about conflict? Well, it turns out that our sense of self is related to several different factors, right? And so one of them is how we see ourselves in relation to others. So it's known as the reflection of others. And when we give away our power, so for example, if somebody else tells me I'm funny, I'm more likely to believe that I'm funny, and then I'm more likely to adopt the behaviors and tell more jokes to make others laugh. And the same is true in conflict. If someone tells you you're good at managing conflict, you're more likely to engage in those conversations. Some of my favorite conversations and favorite patients are the challenging patients because I have a self-esteem that says I'm good at dealing with difficult people, and that comes from my repeated experiences. And so as I've worked with others, they have shared that I've helped them. So that reflected appraisal tells me that I have some skill set in terms of conquering conflict and helping people build that emotional safety. If, when I had dealt with these patients who were challenging, they yelled at me, they screamed at me, and I ran out of the room crying, I probably wouldn't want to go in and try another conversation. So we start to know who we are by the people that we are interacting with. Now, sometimes the problem comes in that our sense of identity and self-esteem is tied to old information, old data that no longer is realistic. And I'll give you an example. I'm 50, and in my mind, I can still run a baseball field and catch a pop fly like I was when I was 20. And I still talk and act as if I am that young athlete. But my body will tell the truth because I won't be able to do it. And so I have an obsolete image of my abilities, my athletic abilities, based on old data that is not allowing for the new data to come forward. It's the same in the workplace. It's the same in all of your relationships. If you grew up with parents who were always telling you you're never going to amount to anything, why try, you're not going to succeed, you might have that pessimistic outlook in life and in conquering conflict. On the other hand, if you had someone who told you were successful, you could do this, all you have to do is find a way, you would have a little bit more of a can-do attitude. Now, the other thing with reflected appraisal is that the people around us may not be honest in their feedback. So the feedback might be a little distorted. For example, if you're the boss and everybody, and I have seen this, everybody says you're doing a wonderful job. Actually, I'll give you an example, a real concrete example here. In one of my last workplaces, in one of my previous workplaces, we had a new supervisor come in, and she had wanted to talk to all of the staff to hear about the workplace, to find out what was working and what wasn't. And I remember sitting there in a meeting with another person who I thought would be open and honest, and instead they were really sugarcoating, and I'm talking about heavy dripping, sugarcoating the workplace and saying how wonderful it was to work there. And after about 10 minutes, I just said, can I say something? Like, I just can't believe how you're talking right now because it is not all wonderful. There are a lot of people who are struggling here, and here's the reasons. And it just was interesting that this new leader was going to have a distorted view of our workplace because people weren't willing to be honest with her and tell her the real situation. So you may not have the full sense, and that's another reason why our own self-identity, self-esteem can be impacted. Now, how does this tie into conflict? Well, you either say to yourself, I'm capable or I'm not capable. Or maybe I need a little help, but I will get there. So we're either on one path or the other path. And those come from the people that you've been around in the past, perhaps from outdated information, perhaps from distorted information. Now, there is a way to shift and claim the outcome that then will take you down the path where you'll do the work to achieve those outcomes. And I have seen it many, many times before where people say, I can't have that conversation. No way. They're going to hate me, or I'm worried about retaliation. And at the end of the day, when we talk about how to approach it, the way that we're going to use words and the way we're going to use tone and the way we're going to use time and space, and we craft a message, I will share with you that probably 9 times out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, every person that goes and has that conversation comes back with a new sense of confidence that they can do it. So if you're ready to learn a little bit more about how you can conquer conflict, join me at the Facebook group, Conquer Conflict, or go to www.nurseminder.com and hit Conquer Conflict, and you can sign up for the 5 free tips and then learn a little bit more about how I can help others do the same. Until next time, make it a great day.